If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com. The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
That is why I want you, my fellow San Franciscans, to be the first to know. I will not be seeking re-election to Congress. With a grateful heart, I look forward to my final year of service as your proud representative. As we go forward, my message to the city I love is this. San Francisco, know your power. We have made history. We have made progress. We have always led the way. And now we must continue to do so by remaining full participants in our democracy and fighting for the American ideals we hold dear. In doing so, we ensure that our city shines on as a beacon of hope, justice, and peace for the country and for generations to come. After all, San Francisco is the greatest city on earth with the most extraordinary people on earth and a place that I will always believe is heaven.
Nancy Pelosi announcing she will not seek re-election. Peter Doocy is live at the White House. He's got exclusive first reaction from the president that these two have tangled a bit in the past. Peter?
Yes, and I just chatted with President Trump about this breaking news that Nancy Pelosi will be leaving Washington. He tells me the following, and this is a quote. The retirement of Nancy Pelosi is a great thing for America. She was evil, corrupt, and only focused on bad things for our country. She was rapidly losing control of her party, and it was never coming back. I'm very honored. She impeached me twice and failed miserably twice. Nancy Pelosi is a highly overrated politician.
Nancy Pelosi says, welcome, my friends. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, the fastest hour in American media. Nancy Pelosi says that San Francisco is the greatest city in the world. This is a city where they had maps telling people where to avoid stepping in human poop. Okay? This is a city. Whoops, watch out over there. You're going to step on drug needles. Used drug needles. This is a city where if you walk 2 feet in the wrong direction, you're in the middle of a homeless encampment that you would never get out of, thanks to Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi. This is a city that conventions stopped going to because so many of them got robbed, battered, maimed, and criminally assaulted. This is a Democrat city. A blue city filled with crime, lawlessness, homelessness, poverty, ghetto. And we're not even going to talk about Oakland. Bye, Nancy Pelosi. Goodbye. And good luck. Welcome, my friends. I just got word. Princess Diana is going to be here tomorrow. I asked if she could do the show today. She told me, I can't do it today. I can do it tomorrow. I'm going to have Princess Diana Friday and Saturday. This is going to be a fun weekend because there's so much happening. Did you know that the shutdown is still going on? But as I predicted on Wednesday, said election's over now, you watch. You watch what happens. The Democrats are going to start figuring out how they can cave. And this is a warning to Republicans. You had better not. Let me read the news story first so that you know what I'm talking about. Here's a story from Politico that broke moments before this show went to air. Senate will vote Friday to advance shutdown ending deal. Thune tells Republicans. Dateline Politico. The GOP leader believes the deal will win the support of enough Democrats to advance, though the outcome is not guaranteed. One word. I don't give a damn what deal you come up with. You'd better not cave to their demands, to their extortionist demands. Period. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told fellow Republicans in a private lunch that he plans to hold a Friday vote that could pave the way to end the government shutdown, according to 2 people in the room who were granted anonymity. They better not speak. They want anonymity. Don't say who I am. The plan, the people said, is to bring up the House-passed continuing resolutions that Democrats have repeatedly rejected, then seek to amend it with a new expiration date, likely in January. Sue Collins and others have been hanging on, trying to get a continuing CR that would end around Christmas time. And I, for the life of me, don't understand what is in Sue Collins' brain, or any Republican that wants a CR that ends around Christmas time. Haven't you had enough of Democrat tricks already? So yeah, if you're going to do a deal to open the government, you push that CR back as far as January. I am of the persuasion, I've said it many times, I am sick and tired of this government being run on CRs. You people in Congress need to do your damn jobs and just do the 13 appropriations bills, get them done, show up at work, get the bills done, get them passed, and go back to regular order instead of running this government on continuing resolutions. But that's and that's what Johnson said he was going to do when he came in office. For goodness sakes, do it. Back to the news story. The plan is to bring up this House continuing resolution, put a January sticker date on it, as well as, this is the tricky parts, my friend. Here's the tricky part. Here's where it could all go to HELL in a handbasket. Or as we used to say when we were kids, here's where it can go to 7734 upside down. As well as a negotiated package of 3 full-year spending bills. Now that, and therein lies the rub. What 3 things are Republicans going to ask Democrats to agree upon that's going to be a full-year spending bill? 3 things. I imagine that one of them will be SNAP. I imagine, because, why? Because apparently to everybody in the country, more important than the American military, more important than keeping planes in the air, more important than almost anything else are the welfare benefits of people that in some cases don't work, have multiple babies with multiple baby daddies on your dime. They are the most important constituents to make sure that they are satisfied. So I imagine that SNAP is going to be in there as one. If they bring up Obamacare and they say we're going to fund Obamacare for another year with these subsidies, I'm telling you, I will be highly inflamed. In fact, we had something that happened on the Senate floor today as they're discussing. Now they're all talking, Democrats all talking about, all right, elections are over, Democrats kicked your butts, now we're done with our stupid little showdown over this shutdown. We got what we wanted out of it. We got election results. There was an admission from a senator in Vermont. Now you might think, Vermont? Why, there's only one senator. That's Bernie. Nope, they have 2. That's Bernie Sanders. They have another senator. Nobody even knows who the guy is. His name is Peter Welch. And I gave you this on the text. Did you get that thing from the text? Yeah, I sent you this, Carlos, right before the show started. Because, again, breaking news. So we have this guy on the Senate floor was asked about this whole Obamacare thing. And he said something that Democrats have not said until now. And this is it.
I owe you an answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
That my friends, is it. No other Democrat, to my knowledge, has acknowledged what we all know. The reason Democrats are going on and on, whining about Obamacare and the subsidies that they put in that are due to expire is because Obamacare has failed. It has been a lie from the very beginning. For those of you new to the program, let me retrace a few steps in histoire. Obama, the Democrats took over 2008, right? Instead of dealing with the things like there was mounting stuff, we need to reform immigration. Obama and the Democrats told the Hispanics of America and everyone else concerned about immigration, screw you, you don't count. The thing that they invested all of their political energy in was getting Obamacare passed. They did it without a single Republican vote because they didn't want Republican input. They wanted to just do it as a precursor to universal health care. But here's what happened. While everyone, and all this was happening this time of year when they did it, it's holiday time. No Republican involvement. They're doing this massive takeover of the American healthcare system under the name Obamacare. Not one Republican vote. And they waited till Christmas time when everybody was out shopping for their families, everybody was out trying to enjoy the holiday season. They're in D.C. sneaking this thing through while nobody's paying attention, they think, in the public. And without one single Republican vote, it went through. All of the things that they promised. Oh, you can keep your doctor. All that stuff we've heard ad nauseum. People don't even want to hear it anymore because they've heard it so much. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Oh, the price curve on healthcare is going to go down. All this crap that they promised you, none of it delivered. The thing is a boondoggle. It has been a boondoggle nightmare from day one. So when COVID came around, Joe Biden, the Democrats got together. They said, let's pump billions and billions and billions of dollars into expanding Obamacare. People that are well off now got subsidies so they could get on this boondoggle nightmare healthcare scheme that Democrats and Democrats only cooked up, Obamacare. And the Democrats said, and we'll make these big subsidies that we're putting into it, we'll put a sunset on it. They're going to expire in 2025. Well, here we are in 2025, and now the subsidies expire. And now Democrats claim they're shutting down the government because so many people are going to be hurt because Obamacare subsidies are going away. The Democrats put these subsidies in temporarily. And now they're blaming everybody but themselves because the subsidies they put in as temporary are going away and people's premiums are going to rise. The insurance companies are making bazillions of dollars off Obamacare. The people can't even use it because the premiums are already so high and the premiums are going higher. And what are Democrats doing? They're sticking it to America. They shut down your government because they say you got to continue our nightmare. That's why they're saying they shut it down. And so here you have this senator asked about it. Again, Senator Pete Welch. We're going to play it again, Carlos. Yeah, Pete Welch finally asked about this health care scheme. Why are you guys making us pay for something? Why is all this fuss over Obamacare and these subsidies? Why? And this is his answer, and it goes by in 13 seconds, but it belies the dirty truth about Obamacare.
I owe you an answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
We didn't fail. The Democrats failed because it was a lie. It was a lie that was passed. knowing that it would fail. Rush Limbaugh said it at the time. They know this is going to fail, and then they're going to come back and want universal health care. Everybody knew it was going to fail, and it has failed. And that's why they shut down the government, to hide their failures and to win elections. We got to take a break. There's so much more. James Golden and Snerdley, keep it right there.
Rush.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
And so while Democrats applaud socialism being the new wave of their party, the few common sense Democrats left in their party are leaving, running for the exits. Well, you might be able to leave New York City and go to Florida or Texas or somewhere else, but if they destroy America, there's nowhere else to go. That's why we're going to fight for freedom every single day, and their approach to Marxism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, will not prevail in America.
Yeah, socialism. So Tuesday night, Mondani stands in front of everybody and starts this little angry speech that's gotten so much attention, and he declares that he has toppled the old regime. He has toppled the old regime. So Wednesday morning, what does he do? He goes out and he hires a bunch of the old regime insiders to head up his transition team. And then today we learn that Mr. Socialist, Mr. I'm for the poor working man, is jetting off to Puerto Rico to a luxury resort with other Democrats so that they can, while you're going to be enduring the cold Arctic blast that's headed to not only the Northeast, but most of the country next week, so that Mondani can sit out in the sunshine in luxury, I guess wearing his Rolex ring, and try to figure out, along with his insider old regime cronies, how he's going to stick it to the people that make New York work, who are not on the government teat. It has begun, my friends, and it is going to be delicious to watch. Don't go away. We have a lot more coming back.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
James Golden, Snerdley here with you, fastest hour in American media. Okay, some of the other stories that are breaking. Number one, where's that story from the Supreme Court? Supreme Court decided today, again, that the President of the United States, the President, I know that comes as a shock to some of these liberal justices, judges, activist judges, president's the president, and this is all about the sex identification markers on passport. By the way, the case is still working its way through the court, but the president and his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, have the right, they're entitled, being the president, to decide what markers are used on the passports, just as Joe Biden did. Joe Biden made a rule that allowed transgender, blah, 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 to change their sex marker. This president said no, and, of course, liberal activist judges screamed, hollered, cried, moaned. Court said, case is going on, but in the meantime, president gets to have his way. He runs the government. He runs the executive branch. So there's going to be some boo-hooing about that. Also, Trump made a big announcement today regarding obesity drugs. And if you have seen the number of videos I've seen from some of the SNAP people, especially the ones that say they're going out looting, this could be a game changer for some of these people. The president and I'm not just singling out, look, I have weight issues. So don't think I'm being mean to people, because I'm not. I'm just noticing what's obvious when you look at what's in some of their shopping carts, and then you hear them complaining. Like that woman we had yesterday that was complaining she was starving. You didn't see the video of this. Do you remember that one that we had, Carlos, that woman, they said she was starving yesterday, that news report out of the Bronx, New York, in AOC's district? These people, by the way, these Democrats make millions and millions of dollars. They raise millions and millions to help their fellow socialists. And you would think in AOC's district, in the Bronx, if there were hungry people, during a government shutdown caused by the Democrat Party, the least that some of these Democrats could do is take a few $100,000 from all the millions that they spent, all the millions, the Soroses and all their heavy donors pumping. Do you mean these people couldn't find some money to help stock the food banks during the Democrat Party shutdown? Instead, they leave people. Now, let me describe this woman to you. And I'm going to try to be fair. This woman looks very short in the video. If you see the thing, she looks like she's maybe, 5'2". But if you remember the movie Star Wars, remember Jabba? Never. No, that's probably not nice. But I'm serious. I'm serial. She was described by someone who was complaining about it as looking like a garden gnome. You know what the gnomes look like. But she was very, 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 very heavy set. That's, I think, the nice way to say it. You saw the video. You know what I'm talking about. And so you know when I said Jabba, it's Anyway, this is what she said. You have it, right? This is what she said yesterday in the Bronx.
It's really bad. Danielle Grant is starving. I know. I'm trying to see if I can get some food. Because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet, and we can. Desperate for food, nowhere to go. Grant and many others got to the Hope Line today just to make an appointment to come back later in the week for food. Resources are slim, leaving 40% of Bronxites without money to feed themselves. Some still in shock.
Stop right there. Stop right there. 40% of the people 40% don't have money for food. 40% of Democrats, because that's who's in the Bronx. Bronx is not Republican, folks. That's Democrat stomping ground. It has been ever since Jimmy Carter marched up to the Bronx, said it looked like something after World War II. It was a disaster, pledged to fix it. It's still broken. And then you have this poor woman who says that she hasn't had anything to eat today or tomorrow, and she's starving. Literally starving. And the Democrats won't. AOC's not starving. Every Democrat in Congress is not starving. And these people, they raise millions and millions and millions of dollars. Zoran raised millions. He's jetting off to Puerto Rico to a luxury place. And this woman is starving in the Bronx. And the Democrats won't help their people have food. So anyway, now it's coming down. Here's the story today. Some SNAP recipients, this is ABC News, and here's the way it leads. Interestingly enough, over the last week, Martina Santos said she feels like she's been living in a nightmare. The 67-year-old from the Bronx, New York, is one of the nearly 42 million Americans who saw their Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program SNAP benefits lapse on November 1st. And they go on. The uncertainty of or when SNAP benefits will be funded is leaving many Americans like Santos wondering whether she's going to pay rent, pay her bills, or buy food. This is crazy. I'm nervous. Thinking about how I can get the money to buy what I need right now because I don't have food stamps, she told ABC News. If I make a decision, if I pay my rent, when I pay my electricity or I buy food, it's not easy. Now, this woman volunteers at the nonprofit Westside Campaign Against Hunger. And they're not going to give her any food. And she asked her landlord if she can stall on the rent. She says she's going to the food pantry this week because she doesn't have much food in her house besides packets of beans and cereal, along with a gallon of milk that her son bought for her. It's heartbreaking what's happening out here. And Democrats want to make it worse. As you may know, now it's taking to the horror stories of. By the way, are you going anywhere for Thanksgiving? Are you traveling anywhere?
No. Why? No, actually, no, because I'm not going anywhere because this whole shutdown is going to still be going on.
So the shutdown has finally affected you. I asked you weeks ago, did the shutdown affect you? You said, nope, haven't felt it. Now you're starting to feel it.
I wasn't going to go anywhere either way, but Phil might be traveling, so he's in problem.
Yeah, you know what the problem is? Cut 15. Here's the problem. There's a big problem. Here it is.
It's going to take us some time to staff back up. It will be data-driven, but no doubt we'll see light at the end of the tunnel. Right? We're going to start to reduce that 10%, maybe to 5, maybe to 4, until we can get back to normal travel. But the data will determine how we do it, when we do it. And even the NATCA, the National Air Traffic Controllers Union, has said it'll take time to get everyone back in the towers. So as they come back online, we'll reopen the airspace. But again, we're about safety. We're about making sure people's flights go from point A to point B and people get on them and off them safely. And we're just, as Americans, going to deal with the gridlock. I hope that the whole Congress looks at this and says, let's find a pathway forward together. I've been in these, but we've never had a shutdown that's lasted this long. So we're in uncharted territory. And by the way, our controllers have done a great job showing up compared to other shutdowns. So they're doing their work. But it's just they're going to go into the second pay period without a paycheck, and it's the longest ever, Brian. And again, there's consequences for it. And people have asked me, why don't you find money for air traffic controllers? Like, that's the purpose of a shutdown. I don't have access to money. I can't find dollars to pay them because the Congress said there is no money, and so we can't break the law. And so I can't pay them. I'd love to, but I can't. And so the message is, sit down, figure this out, open the government up, and let's not hold Americans hostage, especially when they want to travel. That's not the way to do this. Let's get this resolved.
Yeah, but they have been held hostage. maybe the vote will come tomorrow. We're learning Republicans, you people better not cave. You better not cave to these Democrats. Not after all this. But flight traffic has been reduced by 10% at 40 different airports. Now, sadly, some of those airports are in high traffic areas, like Atlanta, Democrat, Chicago, Democrat, Los Angeles, Democrat, Orlando, purple, San Francisco, shut it down, Democrat. So some high traffic airports are going to be affected by all of this. I think Seattle is among the cities too, Democrat. So there are a lot of cities here that are going to be affected. We had reports already that Houston earlier this week, 3-hour waits just to get through TSA. So you combine what's happening with TSA and combine the fact that now we've got air capacity itself being affected by this shutdown. Also, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy stressed that Louisville plane crash that happened at the Muhammad Ali Airport out there in Kansas, that was not a result of anything with the shutdown, wasn't an air controller issue. But there's a news story today running over at Fox Digital that there are warnings now of food and medicine shortages as a result of what's happening, especially if you live in Alaska. You live in these places. You rely on air transportation with cargo. And so everything is being affected. Right now, it says some of our coastal communities are already struggling to get groceries and basic supplies because extreme weather has limited marine transportation. If aviation capacity continues to be disrupted, the challenges there are only going to get worse. If you live in Alaska, goodness, they totally rely on air cargo to keep that. It's astounding the impact that this Democrat shutdown is having on people. Now, we do have Hakeem Jeffries, who, by the way, I wonder who's going to be the leader of the Democrats after Nancy Pelosi retires in the House. Because, supposedly it's Hakeem, but he's just a figurehead. He's not, and not a very good one either. But we also have Democrats crying them on. We got a lot of audio from them about the shutdown with the usual lies. But that stuff may be, I know what we should get to today. That stuff may be old hat by tomorrow. Shutdown may be over. But remember, Democrats said that nobody illegal ever votes in elections. Remember that? You might remember that. You remember hearing them say that, right? The Republicans were making it up about people that are here illegally voting in elections. It was all a big lie. Republicans made it up. Cut number 17, ladies and gentlemen. Newscast from Kansas.
The mayor of Coldwater accused of election fraud. The charges come hours after he secured a second term in office. Attorney General Chris Kobach charged Mayor Jose Joe Ceballos with 6 felonies, 3 counts each of voting without being qualified and election perjury. Kobach claims Ceballos is lawfully living in the U.S. but is a citizen of Mexico, making him ineligible to vote. The AG alleges the mayor illegally cast ballots in the August 2024 primary and November 2022 and 2023 general elections.
In large part, our system right now is based on trust. Trust that when the person signs the registration or signs the poll books saying that he's a qualified elector or that he is a United States citizen, that the person is telling the truth.
We reached out to Mayor Ceballos for comment.
The person is not, he's a mayor, a 2-time mayor. He just won. He's not even a citizen of the country. So Democrats say illegal voting doesn't happen. Yes, my friends, like everything else, they say doesn't happen. It happens. And what they say will happen doesn't happen. Okay, we got to do this. James Golden, Snerdley, fastest hour in American media continues. Whatever you do, keep it here. Do not go away.
Rush. This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush. Now, here's James Golden.
The people that work at ICE, I must say, these people are being so smeared. And the mainstream media is helping to smear them. There's a story about how awful these people are. There are all kinds of protests happening in Chicago because a national from Colombia by the name of Diana Patricia Santiago Galeno, she and another person, she's a teacher. She was here under the Biden administration's Open Borders program. She ran into a Spanish immersion early learning center in Chicago. DHS ran in, she and another person ran in after her and had to apprehend her in the building. And now ICE is under attack, and there are protests happening. These people are inflamed. You may see the stories. We have one, but it's like 2 or 3 minutes long about it on GMA this morning. And ICE is being, in the eyes of the media, being made to look horrible because they dared apprehend somebody that ran away from them. And I just have a question. And it's all about, what they make it about on the mainstream media. Oh, they're profiling Spanish people. Look, if any other criminal of anything else ran into a school, and let's say it wasn't ICE, the police ran in to get them, would anybody in America be complaining about it? But no. We're going to talk more about that. Princess Diana's going to be here tomorrow. I'm so excited. Rolling Stones started 2 weeks at number 1 on this day with this one of my favorite Rolling Stones. This was the follow-up single after Can't Get No Satisfaction. It knocked the Beatles yesterday from the number 1 position. What a great era of music. Anyway, we got to go. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being here with me and allowing me to be with you. God willing, we're back tomorrow for the Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. This is, of course, the fastest hour in American media. Until tomorrow, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.